Right, hey guys, how we doing? Yeah, basically just going to do what I do most months, which is take us through a little bit of a recap on stuff that's been going on with Webflow. Usually it's product updates, but it can just be other related stuff as well. And then just some cool stuff we've seen. I've actually just realized as well, I mean, we'll go on to this next, but just realized talking with Alyssa that I did miss a big one, which was updates to the code editor in the embeds and on page settings. Don't know if anyone's seen that. Absolutely game changing, I think. Well, for me anyway. But it's just kind of subtly slipped in there. And apparently Alan did it on an afternoon, a little afternoon project. So
is it more like an IDE type setup?
Yeah, exactly. You got a lot more features and it's like referencing classes inside the designer and stuff. Kind of crazy that you didn't have that before, to be honest, but really, really helpful.
Nice.
I need to turn this brightness up. RIP, the legacy editor. Bam. That's when my all the OGs will know the legacy editor. You put question mark edit at the end. Your clients can edit kind of like live on the website. That is now being depreciated. So that's going to be gone in August, I believe. And it's being replaced by client seats, which I think is pretty cool. So you can have client sites in your workspace and they can come in and work on them like in marketer and content editor roles for free. So that's
just to clarify, that's for people that are already existing legacy editor seats as such.
No, I think it's just going forward in general. You get, is it just an editor? Is it? I think I've invited people already without the. Oh. I don't know. Maybe I'll have to clarify that. But I thought it was like it's a new role that you can get clients into your workspace for free. But I don't know.
I think you have to pay for it. However, this sounds like an excellent presentation that someone might want to do next month.
Yeah.
Or maybe I
could
do
a presentation for an hour and a half on the roles. And
there is a whole bunch of information on this, but yeah, a demo of sounds like it's needed to explain what's going on.
Go through all of that. All right, cool. Component canvas. This is really cool as well. If you've got components and you've got different variations, you can now dig into the component, see the different variations. When you're making edits, you can see how it affects all the different versions. I've used this a couple of times already, and it is quite useful. We've got a quote from our man Joshua Fry, who was featured on the features on the release notes, which is quite cool. But yeah, it's very useful feature. One thing I would like to see though is kind of in the canvas. It'd be cool if you could just kind of Figma style, like zoom out and see all your components. That'd be a great way to present it to clients already, because I don't know about you guys, but I'm creating pages with all their components on, and it's not very like user friendly.
So this is to replace that, essentially.
So I don't know if they built it to replace that, but I think it would be cool if they did that. So just kind of like if it was like an infinite canvas, but you could see all of your components. I think that would be really cool, because presenting them on a page is a bit of a weird experience. You scroll through, and they're not necessarily always like full section components, so it looks a bit odd presenting them like that. So I'd like to.
And the components on the component canvas, you can still edit and mess about with.
Yeah, I believe so. And you see the change. You can like quite easily see the changes across like all the different variants when you're making them.
And can you create a component on the canvas without it existing somewhere else?
I don't think so. I think you have to create it first.
You can create a variant.
Yeah.
But not.
So you could spin up a variant on the canvas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So not a new component. Conditional logic. This was really cool, but they've made some updates to this again. So now you've got options to do this inside of text, and they also added this little thing which I thought was really cool in settings of most objects, where it's like if it's hidden, it will also. I mean, I think already the logic was once it was hidden inside a Webflow, then it wasn't inside your HTML. It wasn't necessarily very clear. So I think this UI is quite helpful if you want to keep it in your HTML, but also makes it more clear that stuff won't appear if it's unticked. Just a general note, Timothy Ricks I think has been on a bit of a mad one recently. So much cool stuff he's been releasing. The recent AI video and the Cloudflare one I would definitely check out. They're both insanely useful. The AI one, you can now basically add building notes to Claude, and it can like produce HTML in the style that you like to build in Webflow, and then you can copy that and paste it in. So that is really, really helpful. And the Cloudflare one was really a really in-depth tutorial as well. And then just something else cool that I saw, this guy on LinkedIn, Jonas Arleth. So if you can look him up, go look at his most recent post, but he released like a Lightbox customizer. So you won't have to go through any kind of like custom code and stuff to change the look of the Webflow Lightbox. You can just kind of use this UI he's built on the side. I think it's a Chrome extension, and just completely customize the way the Lightbox does, and just copy the CSS in. Very lightweight and really cool, and you can make customizations without actually having to build something from scratch, which is super helpful. So definitely check it out.
Does that use the native Lightbox?
Yeah, so that's the advantage of it. It uses the native Webflow Lightbox, and just add some CSS on top to make it very customizable. Start tweaking it. Nice. It's great. It was really cool. I noticed that. So yeah, his name's Jonas Arleth, and I can send you the link if you want after this. Cool. That was the brief recap, and now on to the presentations.